For American Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall, 2017 could turn out to be even a bigger challenge than 2016. Now, you may recall the Monitor spent some time with President Duvall during last month's GFB convention, where we discussed everything from his role as American Farm Bureau President to what he hopes to accomplish in the upcoming year. Today, in part two of that conversation, President Duvall talks about the controversial Trans-Pacific Partnership and preparations for the next Farm Bill.
I'm real proud of the steps we've taken this year, and staff and I got together and we tried to talk about how we prepare our grassroots across America to get ready for the next Farm Bill. So we created a task force, a Farm Bill working group. It's not a task force, but a working group. And that's made up of 16 state staff persons that work for state farm bureaus across America. And each one of those 16 members of that working group was assigned other states that weren't represented on the working group so that they could communicate with those other states. We tried to keep the group small enough to where it could be really nimble and work, and we accomplished that. But we wanted to make sure that the states that didn't have a representative on there had their voices heard. So we had really good communications between members of the working group and the states that weren't represented. They had several face-to-face meetings. We've generated a number, I think it's 30 or more white pages that are on our website. We also have generated some videos of some of those members of that working group to talk about the issues of the Farm Bill that we're operating under now. Now, this is not staff members' thoughts. This is thoughts that they've heard from their membership. They brought to the table. We put them in those videos and in the white papers, put them back out to our grassroots to generate very positive conversation about where are the cracks, or where are the places we need to tweak the Farm Bill, what do we need to fix, and let the grassroots bring us the policies that'll help us build the 2018 Farm Bill. So I'm real proud of the process we went through. Of course, nothing's ever perfect. And you know, we've learned some things along the way, but we think that we've generated some materials that can generate some really positive conversation.
I am going to issue our notification of intent to withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a potential disaster for our country. Instead, we will negotiate fair bilateral trade deals that bring jobs and industry back onto American shores.
For farmers who are watching this, President Duvall, what can they do to try to get this agenda passed?
Well, we need to continue to call our representatives that represent us up on Capitol Hill and tell them how important trade is to agriculture. We don't care whether it's TPP or whatever Mr. Trump wants to call it. Mr. Trump is a businessman. He's not against trade. He doesn't like TPP. He says it's not fair trade in TPP. So what we're expecting him to do is take that TPP treaty, fix what he thinks wrong in it, make it free trade, and let's move on down the road, because agriculture is absolutely dependent on trade, and we have to lower those barriers that are in that Pacific Rim to be able to get to the growingest middle-class group of people in the world. You know, when you talk about 95% of the population of the world living outside of America, we've saturated the market here. The only way agriculture is going to thrive and be healthy in America is that we can sell our products overseas. So I encourage our members to be part of their county farm bureau, be part of their state farm bureau, and meet the call to action when it comes to TPP and any other issue that faces us, because their efforts to call that congressman and senator and say how important TPP or anything else that's facing us is so valuable to what we do each and every day. It makes what I do a reality.